Elon Musk is promising transparency as his effort continues to try to gut the federal government.
All of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on.
Now, attorneys are now suing to block Musk and his teams from gaining access to sensitive government data. One of those attorneys is our friend Norm Eisen. He is with us this morning. Ambassador, thank you so much for being with us. You heard Elon Musk there say that he doesn't think anyone is more transparent than his teams. How transparent do you think they are?
About as transparent, John, as a locked vault door or a moonless night. Elon Musk has as great business interests as anyone ever to have these extraordinary powers, even greater than Donald Trump's. Where is his financial disclosure form? Can we see it? There's no transparency there. What is he doing to control his conflicts of interest, where his businesses are being regulated or even investigated by the very government agencies he's cutting? What protections are in place? No transparency there. Does he have waivers? There's legal limits on this, John. Does he have waivers from the administration? Well, we don't know that. No transparency there. Has he been recused? Stepping away. So it's not transparent. It's the opposite of transparency. It's opacity. And it's profoundly dangerous for the American government, which is why we've been getting our court orders like the one blocking Musk out of the Treasury Department systems. He has no business there.
Insofar as his disclosures, he's a temporary unpaid government worker, which I guess means that we never actually have to see his financial disclosure. And in terms of the conflict of interest with his businesses, this is how he responded to that. Listen.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
So he's not filing the paperwork for the contracts, so there's no conflict?
Well, does he also fly every rocket up into space? John, it's a business. SpaceX, Tesla, X, his social media platform. These are businesses. And he has a financial interest in the business. When somebody has a financial interest in a business, that creates a potential conflict. We don't know if there's a conflict of interest or not, because there's been no transparency. We don't have the financial disclosure forms. We don't have the waiver forms, if any. We don't know if he's recused, that is, stepped away. His Doge crew is operating. They come in the dark of night. We don't know what they're doing. And he's not just a special government employee. He may be the single most powerful government official in addition to or even beyond President Trump in this administration. And under the Constitution, that means that he needs to follow the law, he needs to follow the rules, and it has to start with transparency. And there's questions about whether, serious constitutional questions, about whether somebody with this power can even be called a special government employee. So it's problematic from top to bottom.
First off, just the optics. The president of the United States, Donald Trump, was sitting. His supposed aide, Mr. Musk, was standing. Trump's literally looking up at him. I've never seen Trump so deferential. Well, once, when he was with Putin. So this is a weird dynamic where Trump seems to really be happy to hand off power to this guy. And I suppose that's fine. But my bigger problem was the talk about fraud and corruption. Donald Trump's only experience with fraud is committing it. He's a convicted felon for committing fraud, business records fraud. And so he doesn't give a rip snort about fraud. Give me a break. If you care about fraud, if you care about corruption, you don't fire the inspectors general, right? These are folks who have saved the taxpayers $70 billion a year in waste, fraud, and abuse. You don't fire the head of the Office of Government Ethics if you care about fraud and ethics. You don't gut the FBI. You don't cripple the Department of Justice. You don't close the Consumer Financial Protection Board, which saves taxpayers and consumers billions and billions of dollars. So this is the fraud here is them saying they're going after corruption. This is all about transferring wealth from the working class to the billionaire class. It's government of the billionaires, by the billionaires, and for the billionaires. That's really what's going on here.
Given that, what did you think of that press conference, Scott?
Well, Elon Musk, who doesn't need to do this, has, he could be doing anything else. He's got companies. He's the richest guy in the world.
Lots of people don't need to do this. It's not like
has decided to give his own time to a government of a country that he loves, that has given him all this opportunity. I take him at his word that he wants to be transparent, that he invites transparency. Obviously, everybody in the English-speaking world media is looking into him every single day. I would have no fear if I were him about Congress asking questions and looking into it. I think they are.
The definition of it is he's not been on the front end of this so far. He's not been transparent. I mean, there may be.
They are making routine announcements about the things they are finding, and they are inviting questions about the things they are finding every single day.
But by definition, he's not being transparent. They're not providing data for the things that they say they have found evidence of. They just aren't.
The White House has provided.
You can make announcements, and he also did admit that he actually.
So you just don't believe it. I mean, they are providing information. You just choose not to believe that it's true.
I don't think anyone should just believe that it's true. Do you think that people have taken kickbacks of tens of millions of dollars from USAID?
Here's what I think.
Do you believe that?
I think every year.
No, but don't accuse me of just like.
I'm just asking you. Do you believe that there is any level of fraud, waste, fraud, and abuse in the government?
No. That's not what you're asking me, and I'm going to ask the question. Don't accuse me of just like.
And so, if you believe that, do you believe that it's possible that they are finding and producing information about it? Of course,
that wasn't my question. My question was, by definition, they're not being transparent. They can continue to be successful.
What do you want them to do?
Provide data. If they're provide data that they have found people. Everyone would want to know if someone has received kickbacks to the tune of tens of millions of dollars.
I don't disagree with you. I love the idea of data. I love the announcements. I love them putting out regular reports of what they're doing.
Have not.
And I love the idea of Congress also bringing them up to report to Congress on what they're finding, because ultimately Congress needs to be engaged in this as well. I have no problem with that, and I don't think they do either, and that's what I heard in his press conference yesterday.
Okay. The way things are going, Paul, even if Elon Musk would drop a claim of transparency, and even if Elon Musk would just tell you, I'm not going to even invite transparency, and it's just going to be the way that it's going to be. I mean, what is that going to change? Because the way it is going is Doge is moving forward. Donald Trump is supporting it. Donald Trump is giving him more power. And Democrats do seem to be caught flat-footed by everything that's coming through.
Well, Democrats aren't in charge. Republicans are in charge, and the Congress of the United States, which the founders made Article 1 and gave them the power of the purse. The Republicans who run the Congress have ceded that power unconstitutionally to an unelected, conflicted billionaire and to Mr. Trump as well, our duly elected president. That's the problem here. If you want to cut federal spending, believe me, right behind me, I got a copy of a balanced budget I helped Bill Clinton write. Okay, President Clinton reduced the federal workforce by 351,000 people. Trump actually increased it. How did we do it? The old-fashioned way, the constitutional way. We went to the Congress. We passed the Federal Workforce Restructuring Act of 1994. We had buyouts, but we had a process where experts were doing it and where the Congress was writing a law that the executive was obeying. Now you have a guy, Mr. Musk, the richest man in the world, Scott says. I'm sure he is. He got rich off of the viewers of this program who pay their taxes. You remember Solyndra when Scott and his buddies, when Obama was president, were squealing like a pig stuck under a gate because Obama had subsidized a solar company? That same program subsidized Tesla. $465 million of your mama's tax money going to Mr. Musk. Now, he paid it back. It was a good deal. But he got rich off the federal government. He wants to get even richer off the federal government.
Let me get to something more right now, which is Republicans appear uneasy with DOGE, Scott, and how Musk is going about it so far. Ann Greer's done some great reporting, speaking to a whole bunch of Republicans who went on the record to say, Don Bacon said on shutting down USAID, instead of getting rid of everything, let's look at it selectively. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Blake Moore on firing federal workers. We need to do a better job bringing them in instead of vilifying them. Bill Cassidy on NIH funding. I'm in active conversations with folks back home, and it's an issue. An unnamed Republican lawmaker saying if this was a Democratic administration with the same things happening, people would be lit up about it. Do these people have valid points?
Sure. I mean, look, I think any member of Congress should be asking questions about this. It's their right to do that. It's their job to do that. On Don Bacon's point, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater on USAID. Marco Rubio agrees. He has made numerous statements that he supports U.S. foreign aid, that he's going to continue to do that, but we're not going to continue to spend the money on the projects that are patently, objectively ridiculous. I think that's something that most voters would support.